Okay. All right. So you guys have the agenda. So all of the links and everything are in there for what we're going to be doing. The first thing we want to do is just show you guys a Gemini gem that we were able to try out. Hi, Yara. Hi, Yara. So what we want you guys to do, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so I can show you. All right. You guys aren't seeing like multiple versions of yourself, right? Like that infinity window or anything. Okay. All right. So you guys are going to be going to gemini.google.com. And then when you get there, you'll open up this side panel and we're going to look at the gems right in here. So we're going to open up the gems and then we want to open up the storybook gem. So let me give you some time to go ahead and do that. Go to gemini.google.com, open up that side window, click on gems, and then we want to go to the storybook gem. So just tell me when you get there.
I love that you have a less on your plate activities gem, Lizzie.
You like that? Yeah, that was good. Somebody built that one. Somebody built that one.
Nice.
So, what gems are, for those of you that don't know, is these are kind of curated um, AI chats. So, what it is somebody has gone in there and said, I want you to um, work with someone to create a storybook, or like these other ones that are in here, create I want to make a little gem that is for brainstorming. And then like this one that I have here is like a less on your plates activities. So what it is putting in what you're trying to learn or what you're trying to do. And then what they did is they brought in their strategies that they have, uh, bringing them in there and then meshing it with the lesson that you want to do. So what gems do is they just kind of tailor towards a specific thing that you want. So what we're going to do with the storybook, we're going to click on this. Okay, it's going to bring it up in here. And then in here, we want you to create a little short, and we want to put 5-page story about yourself. So describe yourself in here, maybe something recently that's happened that you want the story to be about, but you'll just type it in here, and then you'll hit the send button, you'll submit. Oh, I'm sorry. You'll hit the submit button on the bottom, and then wait to see what comes up. Okay. So Dale did this for his daughter, right, Dale? You
I
did it like,
did. Yes,
and you did like adventures with her cat, right? Like a book
I
focus.
did. I did. Let me open it real quick. I'll just show the picture. I use this a lot, apparently. Here it is. I gave it the prompt, and actually I put in her picture and then picture of her two cats.
Ah, cute.
So this is Bethany and her cats, Bruno and Mouse. And I said to make a story about them having a magical adventure. And it's just really cool.
So if you'll just show, can you flip the pages so they can see
Yeah.
like how it flips? So just like a little storybook there. And then you also have that option right there where it says listen on the
Yeah,
top,
it reads it for you.
where you can read it for you and you can change the voice if you need to. All right, so here's one I did, a generic one about an ILT right here. So it has like the little story, cute little dragon mascot, helping people innovate, all of that. All right.
What I liked about this, to be honest, is this gives people who can't draw and can't do other things, aren't aren't artistically they don't have that talent, gives them the ability to create something instead of having to create it by hand and not be able to draw, not be able to find images on the internet, but just create something. I think it's a really cool tool.
Yes, love that. Um, when you go back and you look, see, in the storybook experiment, it does have like kind of some samples right here at the
Yeah.
front. So, like, there's one about a 7-year-old doesn't want to sleep over at their grandma's house, create a storybook to help them cope. So, those are definitely things that you can do, like with your class, right? If they're nervous about a test that's coming up, something like that, you can put in a little prompt, a class of 20 students, and you could even write little descriptions of them if you want to. I wouldn't suggest putting in their pictures, but
Yeah.
actually, like descriptions,
Well,
things like
I
that.
will say that my daughter teaches second grade.
Mhm.
So I said, make your, or I told it to
The age.
make it at a second grade reading level, so she could show it to her students, because she talks about her cats all the time. I
Nice.
thought they would get a charge out of that.
Nice. So you can
We
definitely
can,
do that. That's something you can
yeah.
do with what we wanted to share with you guys was just a little bit of data about from Innovate. So Innovate, we had it always gets bigger and bigger each year. So it's been great. So thank you to all of you who presented there. 284 learning hours total. So we had more people than last time. So which is always great. So and we always have great data and feedback from them. So this one here that I'm sharing with you, I gain knowledge and skills that I will implement in my classroom. 129 people gave it a 4, so which was awesome, right? Really good. Um, my students will benefit from me attending this professional learning. Again, 129 as well on that one. So, and then we only had a couple down here on the other side, which we did have some people say like, "Oh, I thought it was the other way," and then I flipped it. So, which is nice, right? And then this was given afterwards. So about a month after, I sent out a survey, and you usually see a drop in responses there. So that's 17 responses versus 129
Yeah.
that we had. Um, but from those 17 responses, did you learn something at Innovate that you have already used with your students? Definite yes was 47%. So all of the things that you brought to Innovate and that you presented, that you shared with teachers, 47% of the 17 respondents said that yes, they implemented and they did it with their students. So, and what I always say, it's one teacher, but you always have to think if you're working elementary, that's 20 to 25 kids. If you're talking secondary, that's 150 plus kids, right, that you're impacting. And then plus, because the teacher has changed their practice, that's for so many years afterwards, right? Um, and then again, the other half of this group said, not yet, but they plan to. So definitely, you guys shared things that were worthwhile, that people enjoyed, and that they liked. So wanted to be able to share that with you.
I just want to
Also,
know who that no was.
who the no was, they didn't implement
I got
anything yet.
nothing. I got nothing out of it.
And then these are the hours of learning by your campus. So if people came and stayed the whole day, or if people just dropped in for an hour or so, this was the hours of the learning by the campus. So you can kind of see that there. Um, Southwest High School, always big representation out there. Also with Spicewood Park, Crewald as well too, Elm Creek. So all of it. So great work, guys. Innovate was definitely a success. The other thing I wanted to share with you was the Boo Creator Challenge that we did. This one was kind of a shot in the dark, right? Like I was just kind of like, let's whip this thing together. Let's see if anybody wants to do it. We had 30 teachers participate in it. So we had 30 that actually went in there and created books, and it was kind of a little bit of a little bit of work, a little bit of steps that they had to do. They had to try certain activities with their students, things like that. So that was great. So thank you guys for sharing that out with your teachers and encouraging them to participate, because we really saw the data come back on that. So that was good too. I know on our newsletter, I had put um, I wanted to do a Canva Candyland, and I didn't get to finish it. So it is halfway done for next year. So hopefully next year we'll have a little holiday challenge that we'll be able to do out there. Okay, so I think that is all of this part. I think, Dale, I'm turning it over to you now.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the logs, and you guys, for the most part, have been really doing a really good job of filling in what you're doing. What Lizzie and I do, and what Lizzie, Laura, and I do all the time, is sort of look at the actual work that we're doing and how does it fit into what our goals are as a department. Like if I spend my time on this thing, how do I categorize that versus this thing versus that thing? So what we've done is create a little categorization thing. There's a link there where it says review ILT logs. If you open that, the categories we sort of came up with, and there's no specific correct, whatever. We just toss stuff out. Our device support, like we're working on people's stuff, we're fixing stuff. Program use, which means we're teaching somebody to use a program. Or instructional integration, which is actually how to use a program in the classroom with your students. And this is a real spectrum. I mean, and any one activity that's on your activity log can fit in multiple places. So we just sort of wanted to go through this a little bit on this spreadsheet that we have open. Let's look at the first one. So we have a teaching how to use Lumio for quizzes. What would y'all give that? Our choices are device support, program use, instructional integration, or there's not enough information here. What do y'all think?
Program use or instructional integration? It depends on how you, I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, one of the
Yeah,
two,
it
because you're showing them
depends on
how
how.
to use Lumio.
I would say here it's much more the instructional integration, because quiz is obviously something you're going to do with your students. You know, if it's how to log into Lumio, that's more program usage, or how do you, import your students into Lumio, those kind of things. But a lot of times it's not clear one or the other. I would say that. Um, and I just pulled these randomly from people's different activity logs, or what do we call them? The ILT logs. How to save files to
With
local drive
stipend
on
log.
the viewboard. Stipend log, thank you. The second one, what do y'all think?
Device support.
I would say either it's more like program use, how you use it. You know, this is how I can get this data out of this program. But it's either or. Honestly, it's not quite instructional integration, but it's more this level. So what I'd like you to do is grab a column, any column.
And I feel like some of these, like, it's however your point of view goes, kind of, just depending on how you're looking at it. So don't be afraid to get it right. Or
So only a couple of you bucked the system here. I think we only have one case where somebody didn't answer the same thing as everybody else. I wondered about making this like where everybody had their own copy of it. But I thought, nah, we can all work on the same one. Magic School. How do we know whether this is program use or instructional integration? How do we know that? What do you think?
I think it can go in both ways.
It
'Cause,
can.
I mean, yeah. So
It,
that's kind of like
yeah, it can definitely
first,
go both ways.
right? It can go either instructional integration or program use. So that's kind of like a tricky one, I would say.
And where we are right now, unfortunately, we're working really hard to try to change this, is that we don't have a big or any student representation with AI. So almost all AI right now is going to be teacher use or program use, unless you're saying specifically how to use AI. I think I saw one, differentiating instruction with AI. That's fantastic. Yeah, that's definitely instructional integration. Yes.
Mhm.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all doing that. What I would like you to do, if you look back at the agenda, Lizzie's got, oh, no, I'm sorry. It's here in the spreadsheet. Down here. It says go to your own ILT log down on row 14. And
You
look
know
at
what?
yours.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Dale. Can I say
No, that's
something
okay.
real quick?
Sure.
Light speed. I feel like I did put instructional integration, but then I'm thinking about it. I think for us, like elementary, is more like how to use the program rather than the instruction integration, because I know like the high school use it to the max, and we
Yeah,
as like elementary, it's a lot limited at what what
sure.
the high school
Well,
does.
and I'll tell you that I looked at that, and I've looked at all of these. You know, I pulled them down the other day and copied them all
Mhm,
over to a separate spreadsheet to look at them.
mhm,
And what I will say is that what I thought about it, at first I was thinking that's just program, that's not. But how much of our, especially the secondary, how much of our attention is on class management? So
mhm.
if we have a tool that's going to help us manage,
Right.
how instruction goes, this definitely could be considered instructional,
Instructional.
in my
Mhm.
opinion.
Yeah, because I
It
feel
goes
like
both ways, but yeah.
elementary pretty much we keep enforcing to the teachers, we do have light speed, so make sure when the kiddos are whatever doing IXO, they're on the computers, go ahead and project it so they can, you seeing what they're doing, you
Hmm.
monitor what they're doing, and they also know that, hey, I'm checking what you're doing.
Somebody's watching you. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's pretty much just but it's not used like, like I know Danielle, they go to the expense to go, not for us. So it's, I don't
Yeah.
know. That's
Yeah, but like you said, it's either or. It's
Mhm, mhm.
there's not a real
Right.
hard and fast for most things.
Right.
And Lizzie and I also talked about what's the right balance, you know, when we spend our time and when you guys spend your time, what's
Right.
the right things to spend our time on, you know? I used to, you know, people used to tell me when I first got into like exactly what y'all are doing at the campus level,
Mhm.
it's not your job to fix a printer, or it's not your job to connect this.
Right.
But if my teachers needed to teach, then how's that going to happen? You know, I
Right.
mean, at the
Right.
time there was only one or two techs on the campus
Right.
or in the district, and if I didn't help occasionally, it wasn't going to happen. So,
Mhm.
you know, when I was in your situation, I would never say no. I'm not going to help you.
Right.
I would
Right.
look, but if it takes more than like a minute to look at and say no, that's got to be a help desk. I'm sorry.
Right.
But you know, we sort of want to keep a balance with what we're doing. We always want to lean towards the instructional integration, but we understand all the rest has to happen too.
Right.
So what we want you to do is to go to your ILT log, your stipend log, and look at the things that you have in there. And I know we have some extreme examples. We understand health issues and things like that. Hope everybody's feeling okay. And see where you would categorize the things that you've been doing. And we'll let you do that for a few minutes, let's say 3 minutes, and then we'll come back and talk about that. Okay, does anybody want to share with the class? What do you see? And there's no right answer. Just whatever you.
Okay, so it looks like when I'm looking at my log that, excuse me, a lot of mine is program use, and then I do have some instructional integration sprinkled in as well. Mostly like Wayground interactive panel stuff. Yeah, but lots of device use. Like I need help with my document camera. I guess, is that instructional integration? I mean, technically it's both. It's a device. I need help learning how to use my document camera, but they're using it for
Right.
instruction.
And they can't,
So that one could
yeah,
be.
exactly. They can't integrate if they don't have any equipment that works, you know, so, you know.
Yeah. And then like showing them how they can record on it and record their lessons and stuff and then
Right.
post to Google Classroom. So I do that too. So I guess it could technically be both.
Yeah, that's how you end up like kicking it up a notch, right? Is by doing that, or even just toggling between, like here's your screen, and then you move to your camera, and you know, just all of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then it works great for our kids that are absent or in ISS or in the behavioral unit or whatever, because now they have everything they just did, they now have a recording of it. And yeah.
Anybody else?
I'll go.
Sure.
I have one whole hour that was like the worst ever. Doing a how-to video for posting grades, and it was just a nightmare. But the rest of them are instructional integration. I'm also doing. It's the end of the year, right? So after STAR, we have all these end-of-year projects. I am going to have a Canva PD for my campus, to have the kids be able to make use AI to make the scrapbooks and to be able to make storybooks or vision boards for their future. So I've had a lot of teachers interested in that. They were like, we don't have time for the kids to use Canva, but at the end of the year they will for those end of year projects. So they're excited about that. So hopefully that goes good.
Great.
That's
Thank you.
Awesome.
That's all I had for that. If you want
Okay.
to move on.
And I think the whole thing, just the whole purpose is just, you know, you should have a good mix in there. There might be some campuses where it is more like device or programs or, you know, things like that. But you want to start to try to think about where you can kind of plant those seeds, or maybe the PD that you present, or, you know, just different things like that. But it's definitely something like we are going to take your logs when we go and we talk with admin, just to kind of look them over, and then just to kind of see like, hey, you know, this is the kind of support. Is there anything else you feel we need? What's going great? You know, things like that. So it's definitely going to be a conversation that we have with your admin, but just to kind of share the awesome things that you are doing. All right, so what we're going to go into next is a little bit of exploration. I know it is really hard to like be able to sit down and like learn something new. We're just coming back from TCA. We heard a lot of great things. So what I've done is I've created a little choice board, a little explore board for us. It's also in the agenda as well. So, but the link is there in the chat if you need it. And what I want to do is give us 10 minutes to just kind of lock in on something that kind of pulls you, that grabs your attention. It doesn't have to be something that's on the explore board. If you have been wanting to know about Google Vids and you want to go in and you want to read about that and learn about that, or a strategy that you heard about, now is your time. We want you to take the next 10 minutes to just kind of lock in and learn something new. Okay, so in the explore board, we have a variety of different things that we saw, lots of new things. And this is something that I've been kind of stressing over and over is I've been doing this a while, right? This kind of work, ed tech and everything. I have never seen it changing so fast. Like it's changed, but I have never had it where I created a PD and then like 2 weeks later I had to go in and completely change it because it's completely different. Or like with the interactive panels. I've had to change that website like 3 different times. Now it's going on 4 different times, like because the interactive panels are changing too. And we'll talk about we'll talk about the panels updating here in a little bit too. But what we want to do is give you this 10 minutes, pick something here that interests you, or maybe something that you've already been trying to focus on. And we're going to take 10 minutes to learn about it. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go and I'm going to put you guys into breakout groups so that you guys can share just what it was you learned. And then you guys can talk and collaborate about it. Okay. All right. So everyone in there, go ahead and grab a link. If you have any questions, please let us know. But I'm going to set a timer here for 10 minutes. And probably like about the last 2 minutes, I'll get a little bit of sound going so that you guys will know to get started. All right. Okay. So have fun exploring.
You're welcome to turn your mics and cameras off while you're looking around.
We don't mind seeing you like that. Deep in thought. All right. And time. All righty. All right, come on back in. I hope you guys were able to learn something new because what we're going to do now is we're going to get put into the breakout groups. So how many of us are there? It looks like there's 8 of us. Let's do 3 breakout rooms. Let's do it for about 3 minutes, so about a minute a person. That group that gets 2, you'll have about a minute and a half. Did I do my math right? Yeah, I think so. Think so. Okay, let me set up the breakout rooms. Let's make. All right, welcome back, everyone. All right, I hope you guys were able to share with each other. Did anybody have anything really cool that they wanted to share with the whole group, or something interesting that they want to make a note of and maybe come back to later?
I like the mini museum because I do teach history. It's do language 6th, 7th, and 8th. Another way to show, it could be like an assessment to see what they learn, or it could be another review because I do use Book Creator and we're creating study guide books. It's very engaging in the Book Creator, but this is something else they can do on the side and show me what they have learned. They can create their own museum of the knowledge based on that unit. Or it could be an assessment. Here's an assessment. Here it is. And just create your museum based on what you have learned the last, 4 or 5 days.
And it's really cool template, right? Like it
Yes.
has where each room is like a different slide. So each student would have a different slide, but then you put them all together like in a whiteboard. So you kind of walk through the museum, which is pretty cool. So, and you could use that for so many different topics, right? So many different ones.
Well, when I was at, because I know Saturday we're going to have Saturday school social studies. We're inviting students to come, and we're thinking about doing activities, but touching for we already covered 6, 7 units. Imagine the museum they're walking through all the units.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Good review.
Cool.
Good review.
Time traveler or something like that.
All right. Did anybody see anything else that they were kind of interested in, or that they didn't know? Anyone else?
I think for me, I tried the CurePad, which I was just talking to I have used it before, but I have not since they added the whole star ECR. That's such a great thing. That is so different. Cool.
It was
so I was telling I just created a lesson and I have it ready for the kids to join tomorrow morning. But I just love how they can actually actively be participating in the lesson, and then they get the immediate feedback. So that which it's awesome. So
Yeah.
and I'll be sharing with my grade level, my team tomorrow as
It is
well. But
really cool.
yeah,
I know I saw CurryPad last year and I was like, oh, this is nice, but
yeah,
I saw it at TCEA. Somebody did their presentation with it and I was like, this
yes.
is different.
Yes, and they have added totally different. They
Mhm.
added a lot of good
Yeah, it's a
stuff.
completely
It's
So
different
really
thing.
good.
mhm,
And they actually, we kind of met with them because we're like, show us, what's happening with it because we
mhm.
haven't seen all of this. And
Right.
what I like about it is it totally takes you from lesson planning all the way
Yes.
to your lesson delivery and
Yes.
then the lesson feedback. So you go
Exactly.
all the way through and it is really nice. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's something.
And that's everybody. If y'all haven't looked at CurryPod recently, it's changed. It used to be a
Yes,
way to
it
make
did.
used to be a way to use AI to make a slideshow,
Slides. Yeah.
and now it's 100% different. It's great.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm,
Very cool. Thanks for sharing that.
mhm.
Anybody else see anything else that they liked or they enjoyed or and that board is there for you guys, so feel free to go into that whenever you want to. Feel free to share it with your campus. If they give you 10 minutes during the faculty meeting, give them that time to pick what they want to explore and then have them share out or slap it on a post-it, whatever they like to do. But sometimes those quick hits like that are really nice to just kind of get it, done. Anything else anybody would like to share there? I think we're good. All right. Was the 10 minutes too long? Should it have been shorter? Honest opinions there. It was good. 10 was good. Okay. All right. What about sharing out? Was that too long? The 3 minutes to share out with? Okay. That was good. All right. Cool. Okay. All right.
No, it
So
wasn't long enough.
it wasn't long enough.
I just started to vent and I got cut off. Well, I was really sharing about ClassLink and or I'm sorry, Class Kick,
Mm.
which is a resource that, and I'm sorry, I'm sharing late. I'm still kind of
No, that's fine.
I'm writing it, I'm multitasking. I'm writing an email to admin asking if I can have a 10-minute PD or something for Start Countdown using this program because it's a good way to get immediate feedback and get the students
Mhm.
accustomed to using tools that they're going to be using for these end of the year assessments. And so it kind of gets them away from the paper and onto the screen. And so it has a lot of really cool online tools. And it wasn't on the slide, but it's a website that
You've
was.
been wanting to check out and look at.
Yes, I've been wanting to check out. So thank you for those 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I needed to sit
problem.
down and do that.
No problem. Danielle, I don't know if Danielle is on still, but I thought Southwest High School had something with Class Kick, or they maybe purchased it before. I'm trying to remember. We'll find that out. We'll find that out for you because I know someone has purchased it or used it somewhere. I'm wondering.
Okay.
So
Well,
that-
maybe if they love it, we can look into it. I know that Mr. Flanagan, our AP, is the one who introduced it to us, and he said that he found a way to use the free version for a while.
Yes.
So I think it's like a Padlet kind of thing where you get your max capacity at 3 things, and then you delete and
Just keep going.
redo. But it'd be good to have more space in there to save your assignments.
Yes, to have it all in there. Awesome. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's go ahead and thank you guys so much for doing that, for sharing out too. Dale, let's go ahead and go into the updates and the code.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the first 3? They're just gift codes.
Yes.
Like 3 codes that we got at TCEA.
Yeah, they are right there for you guys. So feel free to use them. I know somebody today just emailed me for a Magic School code. So I went and I asked again because the fall one expired already. So once I get that new code, I'll give it to you guys. But those are the other codes of all the other things that were out there that we saw. And so feel free to share those, use them, share them. They're there for you, all of those codes.
Yeah. And we are at the point now where we're trying to start pushing through AI tools for students to use. And there's a very specific way to do it. Right now, students can use anything that's in a program we're already using, like Canva or Writable, or one of the things that we're already using that has an AI component. That's okay. But as we expand, there's a group of people that has to look at it, say, does it work with our other curriculum? Does it work with our equipment? Is the data safe? All of that kind of stuff. So there is a request, and let me share my screen. I just brought it up and then I must have closed it. Of course I did. I know. Nope. All right. Go to the website. Let me share this with you. Just so you know where this is. Can you all see me? Okay. We are in the staff resources. It's in the help desk, the technology help desk. Okay. And it's under new request. It's under all other. And it's right over here in the right column. AI tool request. And we ask you, it's a Google form. You know, your name, your department, what you're doing with it, who's going to use it, things like that. So it goes to Peens to check it out. It goes to technology to check it out. And then it comes to us. And if we can get it through, then we'll have other tools to use. We're trying to expand because, in our opinion, we are fairly far behind the curve in getting AI to our students and teaching them how to use it in a responsible manner. So we have to open up something eventually. And this is our way to sort of make that happen. So if anybody asks you, you know, where can I get, you know, if you think I can start doing this, have them fill this out, or you fill it out, and, you know, we'll talk about it.
Nice.
All right.
All right.
Also, let me see what's next.
I think I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Translate. Okay, the Microsoft Translate app, it was supposed to sunset in the summer, but already last week we saw that we couldn't get onto the site, the Translate Live site. So for those of you that don't know, what we would do is we would mic up the teacher. They had a Bluetooth mic connected to the iPad. A student would join the site link with the join code, and then it would give live translation to the student in their language. So Big Country was a big time user of it because we have students there that speak Arabic, and they were newcomers, and then first graders, second graders, you know, young kids. And so it would speak to them, and then the student could speak also, and then it would translate for the teacher. Totally free. It was awesome. It worked beautiful, but now it's going away. So we are looking for alternatives. We're finding like Microsoft Teams, like maybe they'll have the live translation, but everything right now has kind of a fee and a cost tied to it. Dale today had the suggestion of using the earbuds with live translation on them. I've posted like in multiple chats also, like, hey, what is your school doing now that this is going away? Because a lot of people use that, and they're giving suggestions, and even some headphones too that might be a little bit more inexpensive and things like that. So we are trying to find an alternative, and once we do, we'll let you guys know. We'll post that for you guys. Any questions, or if anybody has any suggestions on live translation, like thing like that, let us know. And then I want to share also an update with with the interactive panels. So any of you that, let me make sure, get this. I gotta fix all my windows. Okay. All right, can you guys see my screen okay? Because I'm opening up the ViewBoard app. All right, on here. So any of you that have received new panels, you will notice that there are different launchers now. So the launch screen will be the way the screen opens up. So the basic over here on the right-hand side, this one here, this will be the one that we're used to seeing, okay? But what a lot of them are automatically going into now is the Google launcher. And what this one does is this gives us specific Google apps where the teacher could already be logged in and signed in with it. And they could have that there. The thing with this one, okay, so let me, the 7% mode, make sure, okay. There we go. I learned how to do animations in ViewBoard, y'all. So it's already logged into the Google Apps, so that is fantastic. But right now, there is no AirSync. I am working right now with Jim Robinson, who works with these, who manages them on the dashboard side, to see if teachers create their own profile and they log into everything, can we still push an AirSync app out to them? And then if not, can we get it on there beforehand? So we're still kind of trying to figure that out because this is totally brand new. But just know if Teachers like this. They are logged into their Google Apps here, but there will not be AirSync. Okay, so the basic panel setup. What's nice about this, you can just still AirSync from the laptop. Remember, you're already logged into all of your Google programs and all of your other programs as well. You're already logged into ClassLink. So just use that Windows toggle button. I do not have one. Let me hide this here. I do not have one. It's usually right here when it's on the ViewBoard app that's downloaded on your laptop. There's a Windows toggle button there, so you could use that to go back and forth from each one. So right now, that's kind of what we know with the new launchers that have come out. But I kind of still think, so for me, like as a teacher, I think basic is the way to go, only because I'll just already AirSync from my laptop. I'm already logged into everything. It's fine. It is nice being logged in with your Google Drive, but you're already logged in on your Google Drive on your laptop. So right now, if they cannot push the AirSync app to this Google launcher scheme, I think basic is the way to go. So just let me know if you have questions about that, or if teachers have questions or anything like that, just let me know. Okay.
It's not automatically changing, right? Like we have the choice
No.
to go between the two.
Yes, you have a choice, and you can change it on the newer ones. You go into settings, and then on the left hand side, I believe it's under scheme. It is under scheme, and then you can put it in. But what I'm seeing right now is all the new ones that are coming in, they have this on, and then very random. Somebody had like Gemini, where they could talk to it and they could tell it, set me a 2-minute timer, and then it would do that. So, and that's one thing I'm doing is updating the website as well, because I think when you first go in with this Google profile, it asks you if you want to set up the voice activation, and they suggest skipping it. And the reason why is because the mic is on the panel. And then, so if your students are talking, if you are talking, it's not going to understand it. It's not going to get it, but it still can be done. So just so you know, that kind of a heads up. Okay.
And I will say that we've had conversations with Lizzie and I, and with Veronica, our boss, about the wide variation there are on different campuses in our district on the number of panels that are being purchased. We've got elementaries with 31 and another elementary with 2. So it's not equivalent right now. We've got to come up with a plan to make sure that monies are being spent equally, so that, you know, going to one campus is the same as going to another campus. And that's really important. Lizzie.
Yes.
Thank you. Do you have
just one more? Yeah, just one more thing. Down here in the Magic Box, also for those of you that have the entity accounts, right down here. Ooh, that's a horrible arrow. But right here in the Magic Box, if you go in right here, this is new, original content, click here, and then you will get a bunch of these in here. Let me see. Is it not showing right? It's not showing right for me, but it's kind of off a little bit. There is a bunch of templates in here. So all of these are in here now. So, and that's right in there when you click on the Magic Box. So let me see if I can jump back in. I don't think it's going to let me. Yeah, it won't let me. All right. But just know that that is right there for you. Look at all of this, like all these templates. And then there's a lot of resources, like as far as clip art, things like that. And you can break it down like by subject also. So just know that that's something new that's in there. And then if your teachers have questions, hopefully you should be able to answer them. And then if not, send them to me. I can help. I can help with that. All right. Okay, I think we have taken all of your time. If you guys have questions, please ask. But other than that, thank y'all so much. Yep. Thank you for everything that you are doing. Continue filling out your stipend logs. And please let us know how we can help you.
Y'all have a good evening.
Good night, guys.
Good night. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night. All right. Yay.